This is amazing, Sanjay. The culture is so different, even though we're in India, from here in Shimla, than Delhi or any of the other places that we were. You can feel it in the air. It's amazing.
It is the holiday town. It is the summer capital, main bazaar. Everybody from North India would congregate here.
It's funny because you called this a mall, right,
Mall,
earlier?
yeah.
A shopping mall.
The English used to call it mall, but it's a bazaar.
The Indian version, I like it. Look at this, a nice pharmacy. They've got everything that you need in there.
Everything you need in here, and they have one full shelf.
Yes.
One full shelf of aphrodisiacs.
Afro what? What's
Aphrodisiacs. Aphrodisiacs, this is honeymoon town.
Oh, okay.
So we have a very special one here
Yes.
called
Shilajit. Shilajit.
That's a very, very important thing. Now that's
Okay.
stone gum.
Okay.
Stone gum.
Okay.
Now when you go up into the mountains, the rocks, when they crash together, they produce a kind of gum.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not a gum.
From
it's
rocks?
From rocks.
Wow.
So actually, it's not a gum. It's pigeon droppings.
Okay.
Pigeon droppings. But it's considered that if you put a little bit in your milk every night, you're on.
How long is the market?
It goes on at least 1 kilometer.
Do you need more sunglasses?
Sunglasses,
How about a
no.
walking cane? I understand they're very popular here.
There's a full market of lumber, everything which you get with wooden
Wow.
aspects.
And you know what else I like throughout India? The women are dressed so brightly. You look at the saris, and there's different styles. Like, look at how bright everything is. Colors and everything. How come the women dressed, even in the fields working, they're wearing all this nice clothes?
India invented the moderns, India invented the colors, India invented dyeing, India invented cloth.
Wow.
When the entire world was still living in animal hides.
I believe you.
And we were in colors, and all this Indian dyed fabrics. And you
Amazing.
were in the capital of dyeing of fabrics in Rajasthan.
You know, this is almost as much fun as fishing. Just almost. This is amazing. You know, I'm not going after monster fish here. It's just the experience of fishing in India and getting these gorgeous native browns. I mean, when I say native, they were at one time stocked from Germany, so they actually are called German browns, but they were introduced a long time ago, and now they're naturally reproducing. Look at the colors on these fish. They don't have to be big. They're beautiful. Just going to take that hook out very gently. It hit that little nymph, and release it. And there he goes. Now I know there's bigger fish in there. What I'm doing is just using a small nymph, and I'll tell you all about the gear later. But it's an experience fishing here in India. When you think of how pristine the waters are, and I know you can get large browns, you know, up to like 5-6 pounds, but I'm just happy catching with this little rod. This is only about a 6-foot fly rod, 3 weight. What really gets your heart going is when you look down, all of the pools that we fished, you know, I've seen anywhere from like a half a dozen to a dozen browns right on the edge of the runs, and you know that there's more fish in the middle of the runs, and you got to really work to get them to take.
Fisher girl! Catch the passion!
Hooks are designed to use for all kinds of things, whether they're treble hooks to go on lures or even single hooks on jigs and so on. If you're primarily a live bait fisherman, you like to use minnows, worms, leeches, you should be using a hook that's designed to be fished with live bait. Why don't you explain to them some of the features to look for when they're looking for a bait holder hook?
Well, an important feature to look for on a bait holder hook is the barbs on the side here. This one has 2 barbs up here. One down here, obviously, for the fish, but these 2 are primarily used. And when you slide your worm on, it will stay hooked where it is supposed to.
Right, it won't slide to the
It
bottom.
won't slide to the bottom.
Now that size of hook is pretty big, so that would be good for larger fish like bass, walleye, pike. But if you're fishing for smaller fish, you should really downsize your hook. And what I'm holding up here is a long shaft bait holder hook. So you can see that this hook would be ideal for fish like sunfish, rock bass, fish that have smaller mouths. So they would be able to get their mouth around that hook very easily, but it's got a long shank so that if they swallow the hook halfway, you still have some of the hook exposed so that you can take the hook out properly. So you don't want to use a short shank hook when you're using a bait hook for things like sunfish. So the size is very important, and also that it's a good quality hook, that it's very sharp.